Well, welcome back all, and welcome on board the latest ship that I'm on, which is Oceania's Marina. I joined it yesterday in Southampton. We set sail last night, and today it's a sea day. So I'm going to have a relaxing day on board this beautiful ship. And from the images that I've already put up for you, I'm sure you'll agree it is a very beautiful ship. Where am I travelling to this time? What are you going to see this time? Well, I'm travelling up to Norway. I believe in the ship in Aalesund in a week's time. Port of calls will be very familiar to a lot of you if you're watching my videos in order, because 2 or 3 of them I was on in the last video. So we head into Belfast tomorrow, and then we go to Killybegs. Then I think it's Stornoway, Lerwick, and then up into Norway, a port in Norway that I've never been to before, and then I leave in Aalesund and fly home. Anyway, I have 2 shows to do, the first one being tonight. So if you think this is some sort of a video that you'd like to watch, well, you know what to do. Keep watching. Now, as I've said, today is a sea day. So I'm going to relax. What am I going to do? As ever, I've got my latest motorbike magazine with me, and I'm going to take that and sit and read and relax. Then, of course, at I think it's 3 o'clock today, the Austrian Grand Prix, the qualifying's on, so I'm going to watch that because I know I can see it here on the ship. Then at 7 o'clock tonight, I have my sound check because I have to do my first show tonight. You'll be able to come with me backstage. And some of you have been on Marina before, so you'll probably recognise Backstage. But I'll bring you anyway, because you like seeing the little places that nobody else can see. And I think from memory, to get backstage here, we go down below decks to get backstage, and you seem to enjoy that. Okay, so the next I'll talk to you is when I'm about to go and do my sound check. Yeah, sounds like a plan. Well, of course, those of you that sail on Oceania or know Oceania will recognise that Aquamar kitchen where I went to have some light lunch today. It's where they get you get all the healthy food, smoothies and all that sort of stuff. I had a lovely smoothie and I had some smashed avocado and toast. Now, I'm taking you down. It's time to do the sound check. We'll go down the back stairs. If you watched my video on Aurora called Below Deck, yeah, that's where we're going. We're going below deck to get backstage to do the sound check. Okay, let's go and do that. I hope you enjoyed that little walk from the cabin backstage down below deck. Now, sound check went well. I'm about to head down now and do the show. And what I will do, I'll bring you with me into the dressing room, because I wasn't in the dressing room when I was doing the sound check because I had no need to be. But I'll bring you back there and then do the show. Tomorrow we arrive into Belfast, and so I'll chat to you briefly tomorrow morning and let you know what my plans are for Belfast. And they had sent for the priest, and the priest had come to give him the last rites, and they don't like it if you get better. To my dear Catholic friends out there, listen to me. You see, if you're seriously ill and the priest comes and gives you the last rites and you recover, might as well be a Protestant then. The whole thing's gone. I guarantee you she will be fast asleep. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a lovely audience. It's been my pleasure. Until the next time. Bye bye.
Well, let's keep that applause going for the very talented.
The show went really well last night. I really, really enjoyed it. Anyway, good morning to my home port of Belfast. Belfast in the United Kingdom. There's a whole ream of information about Belfast. While in Belfast, try some Irish whiskey or Irish coffee. Guinness, a dark, heavy stout with a creamy head, is a popular beer served at room temperature. You know, I didn't know that. Well, I knew what Guinness was, but I didn't know you served it at room temperature. You learn something new every day. Anyway, for those of you that have never been to Belfast, don't get excited. I'm not going there. I'm here, yes, I know. But instead of going ashore and into Belfast and wandering around on a Sunday, you know what I'm doing? Because I live, actually, about 25 minutes from the port, I'm going home. So I'm being picked up. I'm heading home. I'm going to spend the day at home and watch the Formula 1 Grand Prix. And I tell you what I will do. I'll let you see my best friend in the whole wide world. Okay. Let's do that. I'll bring you to Belfast some other time, I promise. In actual fact, if you want to see Belfast, if you go through my videos, there's one where I go around Belfast on a motorbike. There you go. It's not that I haven't done it for you. I had the most lovely day at home. A nice roast dinner, and of course you saw me with my best friend in the whole wide world. That's Blue, my little miniature dachshund. Back to the ship, as you've seen from the footage, and we have now set sail. Tomorrow we'll be in Killybegs, and that's where I'll talk to you again. Tonight I'm off to the theatre. My fellow guest entertainer Alan Kavanagh is performing tonight, and I know it's going to be a great show. He's a singer, and his show is called, I think it's Songs with Stories, or Songs songs that have stories. I've seen him a number of times before. Lovely guy from Dublin. And yeah, the guy from Belfast and the guy from Dublin have taken over the ship until we get up to Alicent. Anyway, chat to you tomorrow in Killybegs.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise. Put those hands together for Alan. Marina Lounge, keep that applause going for the talented Alan.
That was a little bit off the end of Alan's show last night. Fabulous show, and the audience loved him. Very, very, very rough seas last night. I was tossed about in the bed, woke up 2 or 3 times by the motion of the ocean, but however, we've now come round to Killybegs. Now, I'm going to go ashore. Obviously, I'll put a coat and cap on because it's sort of overcast and there is threatened showers. I'll also take my umbrella with me, wherever I have it. I have it here. And head ashore. Now, I have been in Killybegs many times and I've done a specific video on Killybegs, so I'm not going to do very much filming. I'll put up 2 or 3 shots of Killybegs, or if something really piques my interest that I think would also pique your interest, then I'll come on camera and do that. But let's head ashore in Killybegs. It is the largest fishing port in the island of Ireland. Welcome ashore to Killybegs. It's only after I jumped off the ship, well, I didn't jump off the ship, only after I got off the ship here in Killybegs that I remembered the very last time that I was here. I had joined a ship in Belfast, okay? So I got on a ship in Belfast. I did my show that night on the ship. We arrived into Killybegs the next day and I left the ship. I was supposed to be on for a week, but they had problems to do with cabins. They needed my cabin, and so I got off here. Now, obviously, there is no flights from Killybegs to Belfast, so they had a taxi waiting on me. And the taxi took me home. It took him about 5 hours. He was delighted because he was having a 10-hour round trip. Now, I don't know what's going on here, but all along the lampposts, you may not be able to just pick it up from here. There's little cuddly toys tied up. I don't know what that's about, but it's amusing. Killybegs isn't only a fishing port. Years ago, hand-knotted carpets that were made here in Killybegs were so fabulous that they ended up in places like Buckingham Palace, the White House and the Vatican. They don't make the carpets anymore, but they still catch fish. You know what I'm thinking, don't you? I might go and have some fish and chips. I'll first of all see if the Shack is open. It's a famous place that do fabulous fish and chips. And if the Shack's not open or not here, I know the very spot I'll go to. Just when I see that e-bikes for hire, my fellow guest entertainer Alan, his plan for today is to come, something he says he always does when he's in Killybegs. He comes and he hires a bike and then rides away down the coast and goes in for a swim in the ocean and then into a little pub that he knows, and he has lunch away down there. Yes, he did invite me. And I went, is it a motorbike? It's great to see the fabulous job that they have made of here, of Killybegs. A number of times when I was coming here, this place was just being made. I like spots like this, places to sit, and the building across there, which houses the tourist information, that was just being constructed as well. Anyway, I'm going to see if Melly's Fish and Chip Shop is open. There's home, Oceania Marina. Well, Melly's wasn't open. Even from now, it'll be an hour and a half before it opens, and I'm not that desperate for fish and chips that I'm going to hang about just for that, because that's something I can do tomorrow. In tomorrow's port, I can have fish and chips there. So anyway, I'm not a coffee drinker, as you know, so I'm not going into a coffee shop, but I've sat down because I have a little Red Bull. Oh yes, I have. And you have to be careful where you're sitting down, because it has been raining earlier, and if you're not careful, you'll end up with a soggy bottom. And we don't want that. These two lovely ladies are from the ship. And I just happened to say to them as they were walking past where all those little cuddly toys are, I said, I don't know what's going on. Well, Marty does. Tell me, what's it about?
Okay. About 13 years ago, a young girl from here died of leukemia. And they have a special motorcycle run on Saturday.
Saturday coming?
It's coming Saturday.
And that's for her charity. And all of these toys are up a week before and a week after.
And they're donated.
And then when you donate to the charity, you can pick out one.
Well, isn't that fabulous?
Isn't that grand?
And you know what? I'm a motorcyclist.
Are you?
But I'll be on, where will I be next Saturday? No, I leave the ship on Friday, but I don't get home to Saturday, so I'll not be able to come here. But I'm glad you told me that, for I know, you see, America?
America.
It takes the Americans to keep the Irish informed.
Well,
Lovely.
we ask questions and
Well,
listen.
So enjoyed your show.
Oh,
Yes,
thank you
it
very
was
much.
wonderful.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
be seeing you again
Yes, I think it's tomorrow night.
tomorrow night.
I think
Good.
so.
Good.
We'll see you.
Good.
See, I love people from the ship. Loads of information for you. Simply because there was a local man was drying off the seats. I talked about soggy bottoms. And I asked him the question. I said, anytime I come here to Killybegs, I see the big fishing trawlers, but they never appear to move. I says, what's happening? I know it's the biggest port in Ireland, and catches can reach millions of euros. And he says, yeah, but the problem is, under EU rules, those boats are only allowed to go out 3 months a year, right? But he said at this very moment of time, out in the Irish waters, the Spanish, the French, and I think he said Dutch, but certainly Spanish and French, are fishing away as much as they want. But Ireland, the Irish government, gave up their right to do it. And to me, that's crazy. But it's as it is. So, just to correct what I said, that I might have said on any given day there's millions of euros worth of fish coming in, but not anymore, thanks to the EU rules on quotas. Now I have been joined by my fellow guest entertainer, and I told you, this is Alan Kavanagh, I told you that Alan was going to hire a bike and go down the coast and go for a swim and go into a bar, and they had invited me, and because there was no engine on the bike, I was. How did you get on? Did
It
you
was
do all
great.
that?
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's
where do you go?
so I just went in here.
Yeah.
They have some bikes, and they the Hills of Donegal is a song for a reason. Oh my God, it was hard work. I ended up down the coast. Went to get some lunch down in a town down the road,
Yeah.
and yeah, we ended up doing 28k today. So I'm
When you
quite
say
inspired.
we,
Myself and the bike.
okay.
Me, myself, and
No,
I. Good name
see,
for a comedy show.
I see. Why he's saying that? Regent and Oceania wanted me to give them a title for my show, and I thought, well, sort of talk about myself, so I'll call it Me, Myself, and I.
And by the way, it was fantastic. It's one of the best comedy shows I've ever seen on board cruise lines.
Aren't I glad I've already told this people that you were fabulous last night too?
That'd be very awkward.
But no, I've already done that.
Yeah.
And then they said, we need a title for your second show, and I said, we'll just call it this, that, and the other.
Yeah. Perfect.
Because I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
No, it's a hard one to pick. I always find we often say, "Oh, geez, that's a terrible name for a band." But if you're ever in a band, try and come up with a name, because I'm sure it's going to be 10 times worse. It's really hard to put a title on these things.
Now, because I have you here, you started your career when you were only in your teens. Didn't you do a TV show?
Yeah.
What was that TV show?
It was called Eurostar. I was only a young lad, about 17, and yeah, it was great. It was a good starter pack, and it was a good introduction to the business, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, where did you come in that competition?
Fourth.
Well, that's all right.
Jeez, I can't remember. It was, God, nearly 20 years ago.
And then your career just went from that on. But you've worked hard at it.
No, I really, it was kind of an introduction. It wasn't really a stepping stone, because I wanted to do college, and those things, it's a baptism of fire, but really you're better off going getting your craft and working on your craft.
Well,
rather than going straight out.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
And from his show last night, and I put up a little clip of your show, but all I put up, I didn't give your show away, was your applause at the end, you taking your bow. So they're left now knowing that you obviously had a fabulous show by the audience reaction, but they don't know what it was. But he crafts his show really, really well.
Thank you very much.
So there you are. I'm sitting here all dressed up in a coat and all the rest, and he's just wearing some old GAA top.
Dunamore, actually, my hometown.
Some old GAA top. And look at a pair of shorts. There you go. Anyway, I'll chat to you whenever I have something else to tell you. And I have working with Alan. Now, another thing that the local man told me is where the shack was. Remember I said I'd maybe get fish and chip in the shack if it wasn't to go to Melly's, and I went to another place. I ended up going to another place. But the shack used to be a mobile fish and chip shop. But the local told me that they moved it because where it was, they turned into a bus stop. But they now have their own premises just up this road here. The seafood shack. I see it now. And I'm coming up here because I was up earlier and I saw a shop that sold the metal number plate things in collecting. So I'm going to get one of them. But I'll show you this where the seafood shack is. So it's up here. Now, I am back here in there you go. Up there. I'm actually back here on another ship on the 26th of July. I'm definitely going to go there. I'll bring you with me. Of course I will. Let's go and get that number plate. Well, I've had a lovely time here ashore. I actually spent longer here than I thought I would, to be perfectly honest with you. But it was nice. It was dry, and I sat and I chatted to guests and I chatted to locals. And I don't know why I call them number plates, but I suppose it's because they're in the style of a number plate. So this is the one I've got today to join my collection, Ireland. And as promised, I will show you them up on the wall. Sometime when I'm in the garage, maybe heading out in the bike, I'll show you how many of them I've collected. I don't have that many of them, but I intend to, as I travel the world, this is the souvenir that suits me. Okay, back to the ship. It's cast tonight, and I'm sure I'll see Alan back on the ship at some point. And we head now to, it's either Stornoway or Kirkwall, where I was last week. I'll let you know when I know for sure. Okay, come on, let's go. There's enough of this. Good morning from Stornoway. Back to the ship last night, as you saw. Had a lovely, relaxing dinner. Then went and saw the cast do their show. And thankfully, smooth waters as we sailed from Killybegs up now to the... am I in the Shetlands or the Orkneys? I think I'm actually in the Hebrides. That's where I am. Hebrides, Stornoway, Hebrides. Of course I am. The Isle of Lewis and Harris. Now, if you're following my videos, the last video, the latest video that's up, I was actually in Stornoway last week, so I'm doing absolutely no filming in Stornoway whatsoever, unless the weather is good. And as promised the last time, instead of coming back to the ship on the shuttle bus, I'll take the new scenic walk from Lewes Castle in Stornoway to the ship, but only if the weather's good. At the minute, it doesn't look, it looks overcast. If it's overcast and wet and that, I'll not be doing it. So I'll either see you on that walk or I'll see you back at the ship, but not in Stornoway. Well, I'm just back from Stornoway and the weather was not conducive to a walk home. I did find out, of course, that the length of that walk is about 45 to 50 minutes, so it'll have to wait to another ship some other day. As you know, I'm back here probably a couple of more times. Anyway, what's my plans for the rest of today? Well, at 7 o'clock I have a sound check. Yes, I have to do my second and final show tonight. Then the show will be 9:15 and then I shall retire to bed and sail to our next port of call, which is Lerwick. And of course, in the last video, as you know, I was on Lerwick as well. Let's see what tomorrow holds. Well, good morning, and the show went really well last night. The audience laughed, and that's the main thing when you're a comedian. Here we are in Lerwick. And from the last video, the one just previous to this, of course, I was in Lerwick last week as well. If you remember, if you watched the video, the famous resident, the goat, as I made my way up to Fort Charlotte, that's the town that I'm in today. So again, no filming needed. Just look at the one previous, or as I intimated in that one, I have a whole video just specifically on Lerwick. It's maybe only 10-15 minutes long. So if you're really interested, take a look at that, because I'm just going to go and relax ashore. Having said that though, I'm on the hunt for two things. Number one, the number plate, the number plates that I collect. I have been given a heads up by Google of 3 shops that I might be able to find one in, and I'm also going to have some fish and chips. Anyway, you enjoy your day, I'll enjoy mine. If you want to know anything about Lerwick, look at the last video, the one previous to this, or look up on my list. Well, Kirkwall was very enjoyable, and I must say the fish and chips were delightful. Anyway, we have now arrived in Norway. This is my final port of call because both Alan and I leave the ship tomorrow when we get to Aalesund. Alan's second show was last night and it was fabulous as well. So, Molloy is a coastal village, according to the blurb that I have here. It's obviously in Norway, in the island, that's the word I'm searching for, in the island of Bagsøy. Okay, so it's a coastal village whose fortunes is still closely tied to the fishing industry. It relies on fish brought in from further afield than it used to, as well as from fish farms. And the factories that process fish catches in the village can do a number of things, from filleting the catch to producing cod liver oil and animal feed. Who knows, maybe the cod liver oil that you use or in your tablets come right from here. I know there is some dramatic scenery probably further down the coastline. There is a rock, what's it called? Cannonstein Rock. It's situated just outside Molloy. It's a tall mushroom-shaped rock because the bottom has been eroded and it has left the top unaffected. Anyway, I don't know if I'll get that far because I'm not going on a tour. I'm just going for a dander. And I'll bring you with me. It's my first time ever here. So therefore it's your first time if you're on my channel. Maybe some of you people have been here before that watch this. Anyway, let's go ashore and enjoy ourselves. Well, welcome ashore. And it wouldn't be Norway if there wasn't one of these happening. Great way to see round parts of Norway that the ship won't get into. If you're ever visiting on a ship, make sure you go and take a rib ride. I've done it and I highly, highly recommend it. I've got an umbrella, but the sun's out. Let's hope I don't need my brolly. That's where I am, just in case you didn't know. Now, the town is also an open-air art gallery with over 20 of these murals dotted around the place. I don't know how many of them we'll see. The bridge behind me here, Molloy Bridge, when it was opened in 1973 with the main span in the middle of 215 metres, I think it is. It was the widest concrete arch bridge in all of Norway, which linked the island here to the mainland. Great feat of engineering. And of course there's going to be murals, there's going to be murals of fish, because they say that the smell of money here smells of fish. It's because, again, a huge part of the industry is from fishing. And I must say, I love Norway. I've said it before. Anytime I come to Norway, I think I'd love to ride through here or around Norway, parts of Norway, on a motorbike. And where I am is no different. Of course, there's number plates when I don't need them. I have Norway. And of course, it wouldn't be Norway without a troll. Hey? He's a happy one. I'm going to film this here and then tell you a little bit more about it. Molloy was strategic during World War II. And in December of 1941, British commandos and Norwegian forces attacked the Germans that were here. And as a result of that, Hitler moved loads of troops into Norway to defend his position here, weakening his position elsewhere. That's what the guns are for. have walked up to that church, but there's a funeral taking place, so I can't bring you to the front of it or inside it. But I'm going to swing the camera around because, where is it? There, that's the bridge that crosses over. Well, I've had a lovely little walk up and down the town so far, and I've stopped now for Red Bull. When I left the ship, I thought I'll bring an umbrella just in case. And it was hot and sunny, and I was carrying the umbrella going, oh, this is a waste. But it has started to spit now, a little spit. So, should it get any worse, I have my brolly. That's because when you live in Ireland, north or south, you never go anywhere without your umbrella. Because one minute the sun's shining, the next minute it's bucketing out of the heavens. Now, if you ever do come to this part of the world on a cruise ship, there's lots of things to do. Simply because it's my first time ever here, I've just gone exploring on foot. And I've stuff to do back on the ship anyway. I have a VAT return to do, all the glitz and glamour that involves. Then, of course, I have to start folding up and start packing and checking into my flights, bits and pieces. But there are loads and loads of tours. Some of them have gone across the bridge onto mainland, into mainland Norway. Others are doing scenic tours around the island here. And they will come on there's a beautiful beach here that's it's not made out of sand, it's made out of like broken shells. It'd be hateful to walk on, but in the sun it looks as if it's shimmering, and the sea or the water is blue. It looks as if you're in the Mediterranean or the Caribbean, wherever in the world you are from and how you pronounce Caribbean. But anyway, it is a nice place. I'm going to ramble a little bit now. I always love sitting somewhere in Norway that I can look out at the water. I smell the crisp air. There's something really special about Norway. And I know I keep saying to you, come to Norway. And I'm going to say, because I've traveled the world in several other places, if you have never been to Norway, put it to the top of your list. Trust me, you'll never regret it. Time to head back to the ship. I had a fabulous time ashore there, not only by myself. I then met up with Alan, the fellow guest entertainer, Leah, the assistant cruise director, Mark, who's Leah's partner, who is the piano player on board in the lounge, and his sister, who's on this voyage. And we sat and had a wonderful time, had a good laugh for about a couple of hours. But it is wet, as you can see now, so I'm delighted I brought my umbrella. I thought I was mad. And back to the ship. Hope you've enjoyed this little visit ashore here where we are in Norway. Now, what have I to do when I get on board? I have to pack and get ready to go home. But I'll chat to you later on tonight and end the video later on tonight. Okay, let's go. Come on. I'm not going to walk out of camera shot. I do that all the time, so I'm not. I'm just going to stand here. Time now to wrap up the video. I had a lovely dinner tonight in the restaurant with Alan. Then I went to see the cast show, and now I'm doing the finishing touches to the packing, which is probably just beyond the camera shot, and leave tomorrow and head home. If you've enjoyed the video, well, you know what to do. Hit the thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next ship, which I join in Iceland. Until then, from me, whatever you're doing, take care.